Well, good afternoon. I'm Jason. This is Rambling 4x4 Adventures. And today I have a new project. It's actually going to be a real difficult project, but I'm changing out my diesel heater because after 4 years, it's finally died. And it died on a camping trip when I needed it. And so I've ordered the Planar heater to replace the Chinese heater that I bought for $100 4 years ago that's finally died. And the nice thing about the Planar heaters is that everything is replaceable. So if anything breaks on it, I can just order a new part and fix it. Whereas the Chinese heaters, once they die, they die. And anyway, so I'm excited about that, but I have to dig in and take apart a lot of the 80-20 that I used when I built everything out in order to get this heater in there, get it mounted correctly, and get the exhaust and everything mounted correctly, run all the wires. So I'm gonna have to actually take apart a lot of the truck in order to get to this, to do this project, which is why it's a big project. So stay tuned and check it out. And here's the diesel heater. And it's mounted on some 80-20. So I have to take this panel out so I can get to that 80-20 so that I can unmount it and get everything disconnected. So that's the next step. Let's get this guy out first because that's going to have to be moved. There's that. All right. Okay. There's that. So it's a pretty simple setup. You have your exhaust, which I have going right out the side of the truck. This is the fresh air vent. You got your fuel hose right there. This is the fuel pump. Okay, this is the exit vent for the heat. Here, this is the air intake for the cool air. And then all of the wiring. So I think when I put this in, I put it on before I fed it through the side of the truck, because otherwise I don't know how I got it on there. I don't really remember, and the footage got corrupted when I filmed this, so I can't go back and look at what I did. But now I'm going to take off these brackets. Yes. Get this one under here. A little vacuuming too. I'm going to take this out and use the new exhaust. The water or the fuel pump's going to come out too. I'll use the new fuel pump, and then there's new lines, fuel lines too. So I'm just going to snip this off, and then set that over there. There's the frame I need to take loose so I can reuse it. All right, so I used just these 2 bolts to screw to this mounting plate. And then I mounted that to the 80-20. That's how I mounted it. So I should take these out and that'll work itself off. Let me unhook the fuel line. And I'm not sure if the new heater is the same footprint as the old one. So if it is, that would be really cool. All right, so that's that. So that's the heater. I'm gonna keep what I can. Okay. Oh, no, they'll ever need that. I'm just gonna throw this one out. So I've ordered a new mounting plate for the new heater. I'm not sure if this is a universal fit or not, so I'm gonna try it, because if it is, then I already have a lot of my work already done. So let me tighten these back up, and then we'll grab the new heater and take a look. New heater, roughly the same size. And then this would have to go like that. Okay. Perfect fit, actually. As long as I can get those little nuts on. Okay, cool. It's good to know. I'm gonna go ahead and put this cap back on there, and we're gonna come back to this. This is the box that the heater came in. And it was actually packaged really, really well. So it could be like kind of overwhelming when you look at everything that's inside here. So let's go ahead and set it all out and kind of get your head around it. So there's obviously the heater. Okay, this is a wiring harness. Goes to the battery, connects to the heater. So that's easy. Okay, there's another wiring harness. This one, I believe, goes to the thermostat. Okay, we have multiple different things here with bolts. Okay, so this is the fuel pump, and it's like really heavy duty. And then you have to put the fuel running the direction of the arrow. So this will come in from the tank over here. This would go to the heater over here. So that's pretty straightforward. We got fuel line, lots of fuel line. This here is the little teeny tiny thermostat. And you can see this is the plug that's going to plug in to right here on the line. The other side will hook to the heater, which will be this big one right here. Okay, so that's that little thermostat. And they do make a digital one, which is a couple $100. I want to see how well this works first. And but the digital one actually will show you the temperature and all that too. So we'll see how this one does. We have some type of safety vest. Okay. Now, this is another, I'm not sure what this one goes to. I'll have to look. What does it say? Oh, it's the pump harness. Okay, so that goes to the fuel pump, which connects right here to there. And then this will connect to the heater. More than likely, there's a connector right here. That's where those look like those plug right into there. Okay, pretty simple. And then we have the fresh air intake. We have the fuel line, which will go down in your fuel tank. And I think I might use this one instead of the one that I just started using, because the other one is getting some air leakage in there. And then this is the muffler to the exhaust hose for the muffler. So then on the other thing that I bought separate was, this is a temperature sensor, which you would think the thermostat would have one, but I don't think it does. And then I bought this metal plate to mount it to. And I had to order this separate from their shop up in Canada. And I got it in about 4 days. So it's actually pretty quick. They send it UPS. But that's to mount the heater, temperature sensor. And then this is a cover for the exhaust. So as it comes out of the truck, I'm going to have this part on there. And then, okay, this package here is all your fuel stuff. There's actually a rubber thing that the fuel pump goes in, because the fuel pumps actually click and make a noise. And then we got some hoses and stuff for the fuel. So that's all the fuel line stuff. These are clamps, probably for the airline, the fresh air hose. You know, there's different mounting things too in there. We got some more band clamps there, and then the muffler here. Now on the muffler, I would say, let's see on this one. This muffler doesn't seem to have one, but most of them will have like a little opening on the bottom that allows moisture to drip out of them. This one's like really solidly built. This is like heavy metal. This is not cheap by any means. So this one may burn hotter and may not have much exhaust fluid or liquid. I'm not sure. So anyway, we'll go ahead and put that on. And then if I look at the one I have under here, yeah, this one's like tinny. So I think I'll go ahead and replace that. So anyway, that's what we got going on. So not too bad. So the first step I'm going to have is I'm going to mount this onto the plate like so. Okay. And then once it's mounted on there, it's all bolted down, then I'll hook up the fresh air and the exhaust for the heater. Okay. Two washers. This also comes with really well written instructions on how to install everything. About that. Actually, all right, cool, it works. And this metal plate that they sent, heavy duty, really heavy duty. All right, so quick update. I got the fuel line on. I put 2 clamps on this hose just so that there's no air leakage. And then this is the fuel pump, and I got that hooked up. I want the stuff that mounts under here first to be mounted when I put it in to make for the ease of installation. Next, I'm going to pull out the muffler that's over there in the corner. I'm going to take that out, and then we'll put in the new muffler. So then that will just slide into place. And then here will be the fresh air intake. It's okay, per the instructions, it's said to drill a little drain hole in the bottom of this when you're mounting it horizontal, like so. So that's what that is. All right, so here we go. So I got the muffler attached, got the fresh air attached, got the fuel line and fuel pump attached. And then these clamps that they have for the muffler are just like heavy duty. I mean, the quality of this thing is so much better than the last heater. Just crazy, crazy nice. So that's the part there. So then I still got to pull the muffler out on the other side, and then I can feed this through. Now the other thing that this one has is a sleeve that will go over as well. So let's see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, they don't have the insulation shown to be clamp on there, so it just goes like that. So yeah, that's pretty nice. All right, so I just realized I put this line on the wrong side. It needs to go on the output of the pump to go into the heater. So, and then on our old one, it had this fuel filter in there. So I think I might like to add that in as well. So yeah, so anyway, made a mistake. I'm gonna fix it. Not a big deal, just a couple little, undo those, switch it over, no big deal. you have to disassemble this thing plug that actually goes into the fuel pump on the back side, but they're making you insert these pins, and I read in the directions that the polarity of the pins doesn't matter. You can insert them either way, but they'll go in. I guess when they're inserted correctly, they'll click inside the casing. It's best if you insert them both at the same time, and then it makes a little click once they're inserted, and that'll go into the fuel pump. The only downside I would say is the wires are so long for everything, because I guess they're letting you run it the length of your vehicle, which I'm definitely not doing. Everything is just right here beside each other, so that's pretty tight. I don't know if you can see it, the little silver pin right there, just right there. You pull that out in order to put some power on this thing and just see if it'll work, and then go from there. So here's my ground, if I can hold them on there. Okay, so I got a green light here, I got a fan blowing, seems to be working properly. Air is blowing out the other side, sucking in on this side, so everything's working. Now it's just a matter of tucking wires and running the vent hose, all that stuff, and getting the power connected in. I want to run it into the fuse block over here so that it's actually fused. There's actually fuses on the wire. That little doodad right there actually has 2 fuses on the back side. I think I'm going to leave that, but yeah, so it works. Now let's see if I can turn it off. Alright, yep, press the button and the fan turned off. Okay, I don't want to run it with the fuel pump not having any fuel, so I'll do that. I'll get that running in a minute. Okay, so alright, I got a few things I got to tuck away here. I got to pop open the camper too to run some wires up that way. But yeah, that's going to work. It's going to work good. And it's in here. It's solid. It's not moving. I just got to make sure everything is out of the way of the heat vent coming through. All that fun stuff. So, and then the fuel line will come out this way and come up to the fuel that way. I need to tighten this down. Alright, lots to do. It's a big project. Alright, just a quick update. Ran the muffler, hooked it in. I got a drip hole on it. I actually cut this muffler down, and I just ran the other pipe. I'm going to secure that to the frame somehow so it'll blow out right down there like that. I'm going to zip tie all this stuff up out of the way, and I've already started running everything up the side, and then I have the wires up here. Got the temperature sensor and the thermometer up here, the thermostat. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to have to plant these wires a little bit more and get them tucked away, so that way nothing is in the way of the heat, and then that way it'll be good. So okay, alright, I'll be back. Alright, so I got everything put back together. This is a day or so later. Let me show you what we got here. Alright, so heater's installed. Got all the wires zip tied up. Heater works well. It runs really hot. Here's the roto packs that I put in. I did put in the fuel line that actually came with it, and I need to go back and put a clamp on right here. I'm playing around with what I ended up doing is I took some of this marine board and I cut out a circular pattern with a circular bit, and then I just put the fuel line through that, and I had this rubber grommet, but it's not working that well. But anyway, it does work. So I put this vent here for fresh air, because it'll just let fresh air get sucked in here. There's not enough room to put a hose in there. It'd be really tight. And so over here, the hose is running along, and then I actually put a vent right there, so that's where it's going to blow out. So normally what happens is, as I set up my tent, the ladder and everything's gone out of this cubby, so just the warm air will blow out of there. I still got to make a cover to go on top of this, but I have to undo this to turn it so that everything can be lower. So that's that. It's raining right now, so I can't open the top to show you upstairs. But I did go back and I replaced this board here with some of that starboard and put in some different controllers here. Got my plug from my inverter, and then I added more USB ports on this one. And then the heater just runs to the fuse box, which is inside there. It blows hot air. What I do notice though, the controller is really an on and off switch and a fan speed. It doesn't sense anything. So I put in the thermostat wire, and what happened yesterday, it was like 72 degrees and the heater just wouldn't click on because it was too warm out. So I think I want to order the actual thermostat so you can actually set it to the temperature that you want. When I unhooked the temperature sensor wire, the heater did click on and did run hot. But yeah, so that's kind of what it does. And then I wanted to mount the switch right here, but there wasn't enough length in the wire to do that. So I'll have to either cut the wire and extend it, or just not put it there. And then this is the temperature sensor that does have plenty of wire. So anyway, yeah, so it's all installed. It all works. Would like to go and test it out on some cold days, but that might not happen until the fall because it's already warming up here in Middle Tennessee. But if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Other than that, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.